For those of you who love sweets, nobody knows more about how it feels to go to a party or go to a restaurant and not be able to have dessert. Everybody else is having dessert and the waiter says, would you like some fruit? Like when I went to Italy and they gave me an apple with a knife. This is not the way to go. We want dessert just like everybody else. So I'm gonna make something really quick and easy, a fabulous cheesecake where the crust tastes just like a graham cracker crust. You do it one plate and boom, fabulous. You can make little ones, big ones, bring it with you when you go to somebody's house and you can have dessert too. So I took some rice checks, and you could use other gluten-free cereals if you don't have rice checks available, and I love the fact that they're gluten-free now. Brown sugar, and this is from my book Gluten-Free, Hassle-Free, so all the recipes are there, as well as my website, Gluten-Free Easy. And here are some slivered almonds, glutenfreeeasy.com. Some cinnamon and nutmeg, and again, I like extra cinnamon. Now you could do this in a food processor, but if you don't have a food processor, you could put it in a Ziploc bag and pound it or roll it with a rolling pin. Works just as well. So ready, 1, 2, 3. We're just gonna do a quick zip dip. Okay, that's beautiful. Now, I have a pie plate here. So I'm just gonna be rubbing some margarine or butter inside my pie plate so my crust doesn't stick. I'm going to take a small bowl and take the filling and put it in the bowl. This is so easy. It's probably the easiest crust I've ever made. Gluten or gluten-free. A little bit of melted butter or margarine, and you incorporate all the ingredients together. It's just like a graham cracker crust. You can't believe how delicious this is. Matter of fact, sometimes there's a little extra in the bowl and we just have to just taste it to make sure it tastes as good as always. You can see the consistency there is coming out very nicely. Now I'm going to just press this into the pie plate. You can use your fingers, just make sure your hands are clean. Everybody will appreciate that. Now you can use other fillings in this pie. It does not have to be just for the cheesecake. This crust does not have to be pre-baked. You just press it in. It doesn't have to fit completely over the entire bottom of the pie plate. It just has to coat the bottom so that this way there's a crust when you pick up the cheesecake. And we're just trying to get enough. It doesn't have to all hold together. It's kind of like with the butter, it spreads a little bit while it's baking. So you just want to get it so that it's all around so that every piece of pie gets a little bit of crust. And if you make extra crust, you can make it as thick as you want, and then it will definitely cover everything. So there's my crust on the side. Then I'm going to bring in my cream cheese, already softened, 2 packages of cream cheese. This is so easy. I can't even, every time I make it. 2 beaten eggs, low fat sour cream, gluten-free of course, a little bit of sugar, and a touch of almond extract. And sometimes I put a little extra in, and sometimes I sprinkle a little extra cinnamon in, because that's what I like. Everybody has to do what their taste to the favorites. And then I mix everything together so it's well incorporated. And it looks like a very European kind of a pie when it comes out. It like it's brown around the edges. And I like to put fresh fruit on the top. Usually what I'll do is I'll press fresh fruit in, like blueberries or strawberries or raspberries, and then I'll sprinkle a little bit of sugar in after it comes out of the oven so that the colors of the fruit doesn't blend in. And by using the low-fat sour cream, and I did use a reduced-fat cream cheese, I've cut down the fat in the cheesecake recipe substantially. And it does not have to be smooth and creamy and well blended. You can have lumps, because these lumps will cook out when you're cooking, but I try to mix it in a little bit nicely so I get all the egg throughout and all the sugar throughout. And you just pour it in your pie plate. And I like to use sometimes decorative pie plates as well. I have all different types. If you don't want to do a sweet pie, if you wanted to make something like a quiche, you could do the same exact thing without the sugar and just add things like spices, like garlic and onion powder and such, and you'd end up with a nice crust as well that's good for any kind of a baked pie item. Pardon. So now my gluten-free cheesecake is ready to go in the oven, 350, for about an hour. I usually check it by like shaking the pan a little, and as soon as it's not sticking, I know that it's perfect, it's not wobbling around too much, and I take it out and cool, and we're gonna have delicious gluten-free cheesecake for you and me.